Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and a little serious video over here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when it comes to video games, there's been another piece of blame headed towards it. For those of you who don't know, for those of you who live outside the United States, I myself included, but I live pretty close, know that there's a lot of shootings that happen in the United States. If you've been following closely, there's been another shooting that has happened quite recently. Pretty terrible scenario, but it's happened with a firearm, and a lot of the government, a lot of the politicians out there can't seem to find a way to not blame it on a video game, or at least put their blame into something else. Now, I hate it when people blame things for no absolute reason, or just blame it to at least throw an ad hominem attack to something else. Now, this is kind of a serious video in my opinion, because I've always really talked about this, violence in video games, or blaming video games or a medium for something, okay? I myself watch a lot of violent content. It's not just video games, it could be, movies, TV, it could be almost anything, manga, novels, whatever you want to throw me at, okay? One of the most violent things I've read in a while is probably Battle Royale's manga, with straight up shotgun shells flying through a motherfucker's face. So I myself am into this kind of stuff. I do read it. It's a mature topic, and frankly, I treat it as such. But there are politicians out there who will blame video games out on everything. Now, for those of you who weren't here recently for the meme that just happened, basically the White House had released that video. The violent video game montage where 90% of the clips were from some dude's quickscoping montage in Modern Warfare 2. They apparently wanted to show No Russian again in the year 2018. Don't know why the fuck that had to be shown. You could have shown anything else. You could have shown Manhunt and all things, and it would have been more relevant to what you were showcasing. But clearly it showcased that the government put absolutely minimum amounts of effort into making a point. Now, there's a lot of people who like to link shooting training to a video game, and I'm kind of here to sort of level you on the playing field from my own personal experience. I myself have fired a gun. I fired plenty of guns, okay? I'm a gun connoisseur, if you will. I like me some firearms. So when it comes time to firing weapons, I myself have fired a couple of them. Pistols, rifles, assault rifles, shotguns, whatever you want to call it. And I'll tell you one thing, okay? If any motherfucker out there wants to link shooting training to a video game, it's not happening. Now, let me tell you, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate over here. The only thing video games may be able to help you out on is probably strategizing or planning things to a very limited extent. One of the games I actively play is Rainbow Six Siege, a game that you'll probably see a bunch of gameplay from time to time. I really love this game. And the only reason I give this point away is because when it comes to, I guess, maybe training or tactical planning, which one of the arguments for shooter games, at least trying to have some form of link to training people how to kill in real life, may help you out. I mean, to an extent, if you want to make the argument that video games might help you plan an attack or something of the sort, you have a very, very threadbare argument right over there. And this is where I'm going to counter you out on. A lot of people who go out of their way to tell people that games teach you how to shoot a gun have probably never shot a gun in real life, probably have never touched a gun in real life, probably are scared shitless of an unloaded Glock the moment they look at it. Now, for those of you, I'll give you one example. An M16, all right? It's a very popular gun in video games, shooter games, and a very popular gun outside of that circle. For those of you who don't know, when you're playing a video game and you want to reload the gun, let's just go over there, you have to press the X button, square button, the R key on your computer, or whatever key that you have it set to. That's about as difficult as it gets in a fucking video game. You might have to wait a couple seconds, woe is me, alright? But that's about it. You want to know what you have to do in real fucking life? The gun is about 13 pounds. You have to lift a 13-pound gun into the air, a little bit higher. You have to pull out a clip. You have to stow the clip somewhere else. Otherwise, you don't throw it on the ground like you do in a fucking shooter game. That's just stupid. You either throw it in an ammo bag, a dummy bag, whatever you want to call it, and you dig out another clip, a fresh clip. You load that clip in, rack the bullet, and then you're set to go. All in all, you're also breaking your aim and everything. There's a bunch of muscle memory, acute muscle memory, and you got to remember to do things at the very precise timings to actually, it takes a lot of training, let me put it that way. You also have to worry about guns jamming, okay? Have you ever fucking fired a gun and had a bullet jam? Alright, you have to clear the jam and then you have to re-rack and go ahead. There's a billion fucking things that comes down to shooting weapons that a lot of these shooter games don't exactly cover. And it's one of the things I find the media completely leaves out and just pushes the agenda that video games like fucking Doom help you. How the fuck does Doom help me learn how to shoot somebody? Unless Doom is the only thing that might teach you how to fucking kill for Jesus, okay? That's all Doom is telling you how to do. do, okay? If you're using Doom as an argument, remember what the fuck you're talking about, okay? This is a game where you shoot somebody with a shotgun from like 20 feet away, you jump onto them, rip their eyeballs out, and skull fuck their mother. That is the game you're referencing. I would have more respect if you probably threw out fucking Resident Evil 5 as a more plausible method, okay? At least you have to fucking reload your gun in that game. At least that's a thing. All right, I would probably trust you more if you brought that into the mix. Fuck, I would trust you if you brought fucking some Unreal Tournament more so than Doom. That is just grossly fucking inaccurate. All right, and the agenda that's being pushed that video games are causing this shooter strategy to play out just doesn't really make any sense to me. There's a million things that go into actually learning how to fire a gun or committing mass murders or violent sprees, if you will. Most of the people that do this shit have a fucking screw loose, okay? Most of the people that are out there killing 20, 30 fucking people have a problem. And that's usually far beyond a video game. That is a fucking mental issue that needs to be looked into and not blamed onto a piece of media or anything else really but the person themselves. There is a lot of shit that goes into making a shooter, making a mass murderer than a fucking video game spree of Call of Duty. It does not really happen that way. Maybe video games might cause some violent dosages, I guess. I mean, the links to these things are so threadbare that you can't really make a plausible connection. Am I saying that video games aren't totally innocent? You know, I'm pretty sure if you indulge yourself in like violent sprees, you know, maybe you become desensitized at one point. But the argument of making these things out to be training simulators, the reason that people go out and kill as effectively as they do is pretty fucking absurd. People learn these things through actual practice. People learn these things out on the fly. Most of these shooters run on impulse. And I think blaming a video game is just a very simple way for people to avoid where the argument should really be headed to. I don't think guns and shit should have been the problem or should be the banning spree. I don't even think video games are the cause for concern. If you want my opinion on it, and this is just me just stating these things out because I see these things all the time, it's a fucked up person. So go out of your way, identify said fucked up person, and at least calm the situation down before it ever escalates to a shooting territory. But please, for the love of God, do not be so disrespectful to the people that have lost their lives or the people that have been in situations like this to simply blame it on the fact that they played too much fucking Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I think that's a pretty bullshit argument right there, and I think that's all I really need to say. So thank you for showing up, ladies and gentlemen. I had to make this video over there because every fucking time this kind of shit happens, I have to bring it up. This is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. Thank you for showing up. Tomorrow, you get a little live stream highlight of me playing Rainbow Six Siege. I've had a lot of fun with this one. Let me know what you think. This is me, Mudahar, and I am out.